Hey guys, just got done watching 2014's The Quiet Ones, starring Jared Harris, Sam Claflin, Evan Richards, Rory Fleck-Byrne, Olivia Cook, Laurel Carver, Aldo Mayland, and this film is inspired by real events. I have to be honest with you, I'm not very keen on the film. I found it to be not really a horror movie. See, I don't mind going in and watching a movie if it's a thriller, a drama, whatever. But when it's classified as a horror film and the film isn't really horrific, I mean, I don't really find Paranormal Activity horrors because they're fan footage and they're not that great. This, on the other hand, is a bit of both. What I liked about this movie was that there's fan footage, but at the same time, there isn't. In the fact that it goes to real time as well as recording time. And I really like that in this movie. Now, this movie's set in England. It's a Hammer Films Productions. Many people will know them for things like Dracula, Prince of Darkness, and the Frankenstein movies and stuff like that from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. So, anyway, the plot basically goes around a film student who goes into the class of Professor Copeland and sees this video of a possessed boy who basically Copeland says they need to find a cure for the disease for that kind of mental state. So Brian joins the research group with, let me get it right, with Chrissy and Harry, and their subject is Jane Harper, played by Olivia Cook from Bates Motel, who's a young woman who experiences strange phenomena, and she basically has this energy where she sees this little doll kind of figure called Evie. And what Copeland does is he gives her like this little toy doll to put all her negative energy into it so they can destroy it. Well, through the film, basically, you can kind of tell that the energy's in her and how evil it is and how it can sense that Brian has these kind of sorry feelings for her about how she shouldn't be in this situation and about how she's being treated by the other people, like Professor Copeland. On the other hand, you can see that Jane is struggling as well because obviously the whole point of Evie and that is kind of getting to her being stuck in a room where they're playing loud music constantly through the day so she can't sleep. It's going to affect your mind. Now, one of the other things I really liked about this movie was I liked the style. I thought it had great style. This film was set in 1974 and I liked that because it was a very, very great kind of beautiful setting. And I just liked how Copeland's character, the professor, goes from doing pretty well to kind of losing his mental state to getting more and more crazed. And I like that. I like how you had that darkness. And if I'm honest, I think Jared Harris was perfect for that role because he really brought out that character. The same as Sam Claflin with Brian McNeil. He brought that character out well because he really felt sorry for Jane. And Jane and him build quite the relationship through the movie. Now, there wasn't that much horror in it. You got some noises from where apparently Evie was on the stairs. You got these certain things where like there's a burnt baby looking thing on the bed. And you got some other little fights, but it was nothing horrific. So I'd really call this film more of a thriller, because it doesn't attack you in the horror sense, in my view. Now, this is a PG-13 movie, so it's not meant to be gory or violent, and it isn't. Horror movies don't have to be gory and violent to be scary. They just have to be able to get in your mind, a lot like how Splice did for me. Splice got in my mind, and it made me think about the horrors of what could happen if that happened. But with this film, I felt to myself it was another one of those run-off-the-mill kind of films. You've seen it before. It's another one for the pile with the same kind of thing. Did it bring some news to the table? No. Was it fairly interesting? Yes. Was it the best film in the world? No. And to be honest with you, I did expect more, knowing it was from Hammer Film Pictures. I will say that I thought the ending was was one of those cliche endings where you've seen it at the end of movies before as well. And it's just one kind of, it's like one of those you invest 100 minutes into and it just kind of lets you down at the end. because through the rest of the movie, there's some good bits in it, like the character development between, like I said, Jane and Brian, and the way Professor Copeland goes from being like pretty stable to kind of getting more and more insane. That's fun. But the rest of it is just kind of like a big, big letdown. And I was hoping for a lot more from the film, but there wasn't. So, so it was just one of those things that films that disappointed me, to be honest. It wasn't a bad film by any means. It was just not a horror film, and the character development in it was great. And it had a lot going for it, and it felt like it had some real substance, and it had some real story to tell. But it kind of, in my view, sold out at the end. The ending's kind of a sellout ending, if you ask me, and you'll see when you watch the movie what I'm talking about. So yeah, I'd kind of put it as a thriller. I'd rate the movie, let's see, I'll give it a 3 because I did enjoy it. I did like it. I just thought the ending kind of let down, to be honest, and that was the biggest problem with the movie. So, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Take care and have a lovely day. Thanks for watching.